Today we are gonna present about our financial analysis on ASI or Astra.
Astra International Tbk.
Udah kan? Udah kan?
Okay.
Wait. Before you know financial performance, know what is Astra is.
Sejak berdiri pada tahun 1957, Astra bertekad untuk senantiasa berusaha mencapai yang terbaik dalam menghasilkan karya-karya yang bermanfaat untuk bangsa Indonesia. Memulai bisnis sebagai perusahaan perdagangan komoditas, Astra terus melesat melampaui batas keunggulan bagi masyarakat. Dengan langkah-langkah yang pasti dari waktu ke waktu, Astra berkembang hingga kini memiliki 7 lini bisnis yang telah tersebar di penjuru Nusantara. Lini bisnis tersebut meliputi bidang otomotif, jasa keuangan, alat berat pertambangan konstruksi dan energi, agribisnis, infrastruktur dan logistik, teknologi informasi, hingga properti. Satu Indonesia, semangat Astra terpadu untuk Indonesia. Langkah nyata grup Astra untuk berperan aktif serta memberikan kontribusi meningkatkan kualitas masyarakat Indonesia melalui karsa, cipta, dan karya terpadu untuk memberikan nilai tambah bagi kemajuan bangsa Indonesia. Astra terus melangkah, berkarya, dan berusaha melaju bersama anak bangsa, memberikan manfaat bagi bangsa dan negara menuju Indonesia yang lebih baik, untuk senantiasa berupaya menjadi perusahaan kebanggaan bangsa. Astra, sejahtera bersama bangsa.
So now I'm going to explain the liquidity ratio for Astra company. So the first one is current ratio. We get it from total assets divided with total liabilities. So for the first year, that is 2022, we got 1.5 for the current ratio, and for 2023 we got 0.85. So there's a little decline in 2023, and because of that, for every 1 rupiah of current liabilities is covered by either 1.5 or 0.85 rupiah of current assets. But it's been decreasing, so it's been bad for Astra. And next there's the asset test ratio. It also declined 43.33% from the 2022 to 2023. So it has the same value because the formula is almost the same, but the difference is that asset test ratio has inventories, but since we don't have inventory, so we use the same as the current ratio. Next is average collection period. So in 2022, the average collection period is 191.84 days, and 2023 is 192.02 days. The ratio has an increase around 0.09, so, but I feel there's almost no difference. And then next, account receivable turnover. For 2022 and 2023 doesn't have any change. There's only the number still stays the same. That is 1.9. And the last one is inventory turnover. We don't have a number because again, our company doesn't have an inventory account. After the liquidity ratio, we're going to move to the capital structure ratio. The first one is debt to asset ratio. There's an increase from the 2022 to 2023, whereas 2022 has a 40.05%, while the 2023 has 43.81%. From the ratio, we can see that there's an increase by, again, 3.76%. This means the company is a bit relying more to liabilities. Then next, that is the debt to equity ratio. The 2022 one is 80.08%, while the 2023 is 66.14%. So from the ratio, we can see that there's a huge decrease by 30.94%. This shows that the company has been relying more to the liabilities. And the last one is time interest earned, or TIE, in short. In 2022, the value is 23.91%, while the 2023 is 17.58%. From the ratio, we can see that there's a huge decrease by 6.32%. This shows that the company has lost ability to pay its interest expense in the year 2023.
Okay, now we move to asset management efficiency ratio. We can see in the table that this comparing 2 years is similar. So it means there is no significant growth within each year 2022 and 2023. And we're going to see to the result of our review, which is the total asset turnover in 2022, it is 0.139, comparing to the 2023 is 142, which is only 3 different number. So it's generate 2.1% growth. The fixed asset, I think, is significantly growth. So in the 2022 is 0.655, and in 2023, and we can see like there is a 150 growth, which is 0.803. So it generates 23% growth in the fixed asset turnover.
Now, moving on to the index, we got OIROI, OPM, and also the NPM. For the OIROI stands for Operating Income Return on Investment. From the 2022, we got score of 0.099, and for the 2023, we got 0.102. From the ratio, we can conclude that the company is running a bit more to liabilities, which is bad, and the higher OIROI indicates that the company is using its assets more efficiently. For the operating profit margin, we got the score of, from the prior year, 71.6%, and for the next year, 2023, we got the score of 72.1%. That indicates that the company is earning less profit because it increases by 5% per dollar of revenue from its core operations. And for the last one, NPM, that stands for net profit margin, we got the score from the prior year, 71.9%, and for the next year, 69%. And it generally indicates that the company is retaining a small percentage of its revenue as profit after all expenses. Yes.
There's three of them. There's ROE, GPM, and ROA. So ROE, the 2022 ROE is 0.178, and the 2023 is 0.166. So this growth means the company is making slightly less profit from its activity, possibly due to change in its efficiency cost or financial setup. Next is GPM. The 2022 is 118.5%, and the 2023 is 193.6%. This increase suggests the company is better at making profit from its revenue, possibly due to improved pricing, cost control, or efficiency. The higher GPM means the company keeps more profit from each dollar of revenue after covering production costs. Next is ROA. 2022 is 0.1 and 2023 is 0.098. This means the company is a bit less efficient in generating profit from its assets, possibly due to lower operational efficiency or an increase in assets without a matching rise in profit.
So, welcome back. I'm William. So, after Aska, we are Mirza and Wasis explaining about the current 2 years of performance of Astra International TBK performance. So, I found 5 years length of the financial highlight. Of course, I found it in the official website of Astra International TBK. So let's see, and here and we can calculate the percentage of net revenue in 2019 is 237,000 billion rupiah, and 2023 is 316,000 billion rupiah. What is it, like 33.3% of growth? And gross profit, actually we can calculate again, like from 50,000 to 73,000 is 46. Actually, let's make it accurate. 46.6% of growth. And actually, yeah, there is a lot of financial statement in here from 2019 until 2023. And is there already any return on asset, equity, gross profit margin, NPM, net income margin, also current ratio. So and I want to mention that the most important thing is this earning per share. As an investor, you should see earning per share in rupiah. Now let's calculate, like if you put stocks of Astra International in 2019, what happened if we not selling until the end of 2023 is 86, you have 56% of your capital by just investing 5 years in Astra International Tbk. So I think that's enough for me. We are Malawi. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.